Hello, everybody, and it's Mr. Jolly from Old Sydney Town coming at you by popular demand with a special preview of the game against Leicester this week. And I'll be asking the Harlow Globetrotter Lloyd Stiles and Vlad, our Eastern European marketing manager, can we do these bastards who stole our league 3 seasons ago, the league that we should have won, that they nabbed, and can we continue our remarkable away form that is by far and away the best in the Premier League, better than Liverpool, better than those dogs, Manchester City, better than those scum-sucking pigs from Chelsea and those absolute gooner scumbags, Arsenal? Can we continue our away form? Can we defeat the Leicester Blue? Can we get our run going into the Christmas period and continue our remarkable form through this period under Pochettino? We've been magnificent in December and January into February. Will that continue? I'm joined by Vlad, our marketing manager for Eastern Europe, and the one and the only Harlow Globetrotter, Lloyd Stiles from Vienna in Austria. Lloyd, how are you, mate?
Thank you very much. It's good to be here, and yeah, nice to see you for a change rather than just hear your voice.
Yes, I'm very surprised that you're actually reasonably good looking. I thought you'd be a real ugly bastard.
I am from Essex, but you know, millions of years away from the UK has, I think, improved me a little bit.
And speaking of very handsome gentlemen, we're very, very lucky to be joined by our marketing manager from Eastern Europe, Vlad. Vlad, how are you, mate?
Hello, how are you? It's nice day, yes, Mr. Jolly.
Yeah, it's a fucking beautiful day in Sydney, mate. It's 28 degrees. I'll be heading down to the beach. Actually, I've had a few inquiries, mate. Where are you joining us from?
You see, I could tell you, Mr. Jolly, but then you tell your friends, they tell their friends, and all of a sudden everybody is at my house for tea, coffee, and crack cocaine. This is not good. My mother does not like.
Okay, Vlad, and another question, mate. Why are you not wearing your suit and tie, your shirt and tie today?
Yes, this is very important. You see, Mr. Jolly, I love Tottenham Hotspur, and of course I want everybody to know how much I love Tottenham Hotspur. So today I decide that I will, show everyone my cock.
Okay, well, make sure you keep it well and truly sheathed over there, mate, at least for the duration of today's preview.
It's good.
Without further ado, let's crack on with it. I'll start with you, Harlow Globetrotter. How do you see us lining up, and where do you see the tactical battles taking place today?
So I think that the biggest thing for Spurs, as we've seen in the Arsenal game, we got kind of overrun in midfield. And so I want us to try and match Leicester City up. I know that they play Ndidi and Mendy as kind of sitting midfielders with Maddison just in front, but I'd like to see us play with 3 in midfield, and probably Dyer, Winks and Sissoko, as they're the only 3 that are fit. I think I'd start all of them. After that, the back 4 kind of picks itself because Aurier is the only one fit. We've only got 2 centre-halves fit in Jan and Toby, and whatever choice we make at left back, I'm not sure it really matters right now. I guess it will depend on who Poch wants to start on Tuesday night in Barcelona. But up front is where the choice has to be made, and we know that Kane's going to start. So it's a question of, well, do we want Son's pace? Do we want Eriksen's passing? Maybe Dele Alli's runs from midfield? And I would go with Eriksen, Dele, and Kane, kind of the old school, the 3 that we trust the most. Kane has a really good record scoring against Leicester, so Dele has to play. And Dele Alli's first goal for Spurs was also at Leicester, so they have some good memories of playing them, and they're the 3 that I play up front.
Do you agree with that, Vlad? Or would you start Sonny for his pace?
No, I think that because we have this big win against Barca in midweek coming up, that we have to have Son for this game, and against Leicester we play the Brazilian Lucas Moura, because he will have the pace, he will have trickery, and make the defense look really very stupid.
Interesting thoughts. That we know that Poch is going for a rotation. Sonny's played 2 games in a row. If he plays against Leicester and then against Barca, that will be 4. You think more reason for Sonny to sit out Leicester? Do you think he's the one to hurt Barca in midweek?
I definitely think that we're going to need a bit more pace in the team against Barcelona. So I guess Son's going to start that game. But I mean, just it depends on how Poch wants to approach it. He might say with the Barcelona game, we'll try and keep it tight for the first hour or so and then go for it to try and get the win. I'm not sure he's going to go for broke to begin with, but I think that for Leicester especially, we're away from home, so we can use the pace maybe off the bench this time. And you never know, you might see Son and Lucas Moura start in Barcelona, although I would be surprised if that happened. It's a tough call because he has to try and work out what's going to be the best long term. But for me, I think Son would miss the Leicester game.
What about Eriksen? Isn't he another chance to be rotated for this game?
It's possible. I mean, Eriksen is the type of player who you think would be suited to European football. So yeah, maybe he would miss this game. And I said before, records against Leicester, Son has scored against them too. So it might be Dele, Son, and Kane. And if it was, I don't think I could complain. I don't think it matters too much. I think what matters most is the fact that we could play three in midfield to kind of match up with Leicester. If we don't win that midfield battle, I don't think it's going to matter who plays up front. So it might be Dele, Son, and Kane, but I guess we'll see. I don't think one is particularly better than the other.
And Vlad, question for you, Vlad. Why have we been so good away from home this season? We've got the best away record in the league by far. Over the last 3 seasons, apart from Manchester City, we have far and away the best away record in the league. What is it about Pochettino and when we go away?
I don't think it's Pochettino. I think the fact that for 2 seasons we don't have bloody home is why we play so well away, because we don't have home game, ever. It's always away.
So we've played, what is it, 38. We've played by the end of this season, it'll be 76 away matches in a row. 295 away games.
195, I count on fingers. Look, many fingers.
So does that mean we're going to win the league when we get home next season? Because we'll have our wonderful away form. Then we'll be back at home again. If we stitch those 2 things together, is the league going to be ours next season, Vlad?
I think that we are by far the best team that does not cheat with money. So perhaps if we can sort out Manchester City being funded by a whole bloody state, and you have, of course, Chelsea down the road being funded by my old friend Roman, who sells people prostitutes and oil. Maybe if we can sort out this financial thing, then maybe real teams can have chance at winning league.
Yes, well, that will be fucking fantastic, wouldn't it? Let's talk about Leicester a little bit. Who are their danger players and how do we stop them?
Well, obviously, if Vardy starts, then he's a massive threat. He also tends to score against us, so we need to be aware of him. But I think the player that's made them tick so far this season has been James Maddison. I think he's got 7 goals and 2 assists so far in the season. And for a guy that's just come up from the Championship, that's a pretty good record. I think Leicester have tried to shore things up a little bit at the back, so they don't have too many attacking options from deep. It really is just Maddison and whoever the wingers will be. It might be Albrighton. It might be they might play Ricardo Pereira at right wing. There's the guy Ghezal who kind of replaced Mahrez. Demirai Gray might play. So it really just depends on who Puel picks. But I think Vardy or maybe it's Ine Nacho, one of those two will be our biggest threat. But I think if we can stop Maddison, who from his tweets when he was younger clearly has a bit of a beef against Tottenham. So if he plays well against the team he seems to hate, we might have issues. But I think he's the main threat as far as Leicester are concerned.
What's his beef with Tottenham? Sorry, Vlad, you go.
One second. Mr. Lloyd Stiles with the night. I heard today that Jamie Vardy has injured somewhere in between here. Groin, I think you said. So perhaps he doesn't play. But what I don't know is Maddison, okay? He gets sent off and does not serve ban. How has this happened? You must know. You watch more football than me.
So I can only assume that they appealed against it. To be honest, I didn't know. I just know he scored in the last game.
But it's cannot appeal to yellow.
Well, I don't really know enough about it. I've seen that he's listed in their squad, and so I expect him to start. But yeah, so however they've got around it, I'm not too sure. But the beef that I mentioned earlier is that when he was, I think, a teenager, he sent a few tweets that were kind of derogatory against Gareth Bale, calling him a monkey, So clearly he has a preference towards our North London rivals as opposed to Spurs.
Many
I think that
I'm called Pale Monkey too.
well, I mean, there are similarities. Let's not be too coy about it. But I've never seen a monkey play football like Bale, so I prefer to see him as a footballer first. But yeah, Maddison's good. He looked good in the first game of the season when Leicester went to Man United. He just seems to want to play the game at speed. He's not worried about needing 2 or 3 touches. He wants to get the ball and turn, and he's been dangerous. So it's a pretty good buy from Leicester, if I'm honest. They bought well in the summer. They've got the new Turkish centre half as well, who has seemed to finally, but he's got used to the English game, and so the team that won the league a few seasons ago has broken up a bit, but they still seem to be a quality side.
But they still rely very much on counter-attack, yes? You think that without Mr. Vardy, that the counter-attack is not quite as good, and perhaps we contain a little better than with Vardy in the side?
Yeah, I mean, they're clearly not as good as they were. I mean, I think there's no doubt about that. But as I said, like they're on a 6-game unbeaten run right now, Leicester. And although most of those games have been draws, it stops the run of defeats that they were having. So they've gone to a slightly more sedate back four, not playing Pereira at right back, hoping he's going to run forward. They've stuck with Simpson and Chilwell, obviously the England international, is at left back. So I think they're pretty solid. I don't see us scoring too many. But yeah, having said that, like I read a stat today that said that games between Leicester and Tottenham have produced the second most goals in the league since Leicester came up. I think our 6-1 victory probably has something to do with that, but only games between Arsenal and Liverpool have produced more goals. So I don't think it's going to be a 0-0, that's for sure.
Yeah, that bonkers game at the end of last season. What was it, 5-4? What was the end result there? 5-4, wasn't it?
5-4, yeah. Lamela got 2.
There you go. That was the beginning of his run, wasn't it?
Yeah, two tap-ins from 4 yards out. You can't beat him.
What did you say, Vlad?
I say that Mr. Coleslaw will be very happy that Mr. Lloyd Stiles with an eye mentions Lamela and his goals.
Yeah, did you see the picture of Mr. Coleshaw with the Sissoko Love-In shirt? What did you think about that, Vlad?
I think that Mr. Lamela will be very jealous, and perhaps he takes back Llama Farm, and Mr. Stiles with an eye, maybe you can buy this time.
Big love, big shout out to you, Mr. Coleshaw, the caller. If you don't like anything that you've heard today, give us a call, mate. I've got a couple of little messages here from the Facebook thread. Leicester City, bit of spice in this game. Apparently they don't like us. Comes back to the run into the title. And Simon Kingy, the philosopher Kingy, saying, you can guarantee you're going to be hearing a few. Have you ever seen Tottenham win the league songs and some stuff like that? Extra spice in this game, HG.
Yeah, I think so. Maybe not between the players. I don't think the players care too much about it. But I'm pretty certain the fans remember. I mean, it's kind of weird. I don't understand really personally why Leicester are hated so much by Spurs fans just because of that one season. They had a very good season, and I do think they deserve to win it. But I think it rankles a little bit with Spurs fans that they lost it to Leicester. They tend to forget the fact that obviously we finished third that year in the end. But there's this idea that like the best chance that Spurs had, and it was Leicester that beat us, is considered very Spursy. But if you think of that Leicester team that won the league, I mean, most of their best players have gone. They're a completely different side now. They play a different way. And yeah, I mean, I wasn't happy that they won the league, but I wasn't upset because I do feel that they were the best team that year. I think they only lost 3 games. And if you lose 3 games in a season, you deserve to get whatever credit comes your way.
And even one of the games they lost that season was away at Arsenal, and they were very unlucky in that game. I think they played really well as well. It was a pretty remarkable season. I think the one that really hurts is that when we lost to them 1-0 at home with Hoy, what's his name, the big Huth. German defender, Huth. Yeah, Huth's. I'm getting my Huths and my Foyths mixed up. I'm calling him Hoyth. Yeah, but the big header at the back post, I think he was unmarked, and we lost 1-0 in a game that we had a lot of chances, and that was probably a turning point, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we realised just how big that game was at the time, because Spurs then went on a run after that game and won quite a few in a row. But yeah, towards the end of the season when we're playing catch up, that 3 points was massive. Had it been a draw, then I think we may have gone ahead for more than those 13 minutes against Arsenal. And it may have been more of a, Leicester would have felt more pressure. I mean, we all know that Leicester played most of their games in the run-in before we did, and that rankled with a few Spurs fans. But I don't know, like that result, it's just one of those things. You know, Spurs, there's not been too many games that we haven't scored at home, but that unfortunately was one of them.
All right, predict. Go on, Vlad.
Yes, I talk again over you. I'm sorry. I don't think that it's Leicester that Spurs fans are upset about. But in that season, everybody and their dog is saying, I want Leicester to win and nobody else. And Leicester is fairy tale and they do this right way and don't spend millions and billions of money. And nobody looks at Spurs and go, well, hey, they don't spend millions and billions. They do this right way. Why can't they win a league? This is what rankles me. This is what I think rankles fans.
Yeah, well, that was probably the closest we'll come to win the league. Look, what's it going to take? Finish up talking about this, because it is Leicester. Whenever I see Leicester, I think about this. Like, can we win the league under Pochettino with this current team now, given the way that Manchester City and now Liverpool are set up, and the fact that at any given season Chelsea could suddenly rise again? Would it be another fairy tale for Spurs to win a league under Pochettino with Kane and Ali and Eriksen, this team, or is that chance gone?
I mean, I won't say it's gone, but I think it does look unlikely. I mean, Man City, Liverpool have their best start to a season they've ever had. It's really going to be one of those two. We've lost too many games. Although not only have we lost games, but we've lost to the rivals. We lost both at home to City and Liverpool. So, you know, they're up there and they deserve to be there. We are going to lose a few players next summer, I'm sure of it. So, yeah, maybe not with this team, but you know, like every season is new. I mean, I don't think we can sit here and say, well, Man City have bought lots of young players and they're going to waltz the league every season. It may well happen, but as we learned from Leicester, it just takes, you know, it takes the perfect storm, but there's no reason why that perfect storm couldn't happen to us.
All righty. Well, predictions for the game. What do you think is going to happen, Vlad? Can you see Spurs winning this game?
I think we win 3-1. It's an easy game. No problem.
Goal scorers?
The Harry Kane scored 2 and Dele Alli scored 1 late header at back post.
H?
Okay. I'm never confident when we play Leicester, even after the 6-1. That was end of season, and I think that, you know, everything seemed to go our way. But I do think there'll be goals. Spurs have had trouble keeping clean sheets, so we'll definitely concede 1. So 2-1, maybe 3-1, like Vlad said. But I'll go with 2-1. It seems to be one of our favourite scores this year, and I don't see it being a draw. I mean, it really could, but I don't see it. So I think we'll win.
Well, I think we'll maintain our record of being the only team in the top leagues anywhere that has not had a draw. I think it will be 2-1 to the Tottenham Hotspur, with Harry Kane getting 1 and sexy legs, Dele Alli with the other. Come on, you Spurs! Thank you very much for joining us today. HG from Vienna and Vlad hailing from parts unknown.
It's a pleasure. Very happy to be here.
Yeah, not a problem. I'll tidy up better next time.
All right, gentlemen, take care. See ya.